So welcome back for the second podcast episode of Sports for You. Today we are with just Jake and I. Sutter couldn't make it, so we're going to break down the NFL and what we think the predictions are, our over and under opinions.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to make sure that we get them all right, of course.
Yes.
Obviously, we're not going to get these wrong.
Nothing.
We're going to put
wrong.
a ton of money down on this,
Yes.
and we're going to make it all. So yeah.
Right here, put $1 million down on whatever I say.
And I think it's FanDuel's where the over and under go. It's either DraftKings or FanDuel. I think it's FanDuel.
I just went by the whole schedule.
But
I picked every game.
okay, good. So first we're gonna start off with the AFC East. We got the Buffalo Bills first. Last year they were 10-6, made the playoffs. I think they did pretty good in free agency and in the draft. They added Stephon Diggs at wide receiver, obviously. That's their most notable one.
Yep.
I was kind of surprised. Their over-under is they were projected at 8.5,
Over.
and I say well over.
Over.
I think they'll be at 10-6 again.
That's what I have them at, 10-6.
10-6, okay.
They also added Mario Addison, defensive end from the Panthers, had 9 sacks each of the past 4 seasons, so their defense is going to be even more stellar. Offensive line still ranked fairly high in the rankings. Defense has obviously been a key for them. So,
plus I think Josh Allen's gonna if you look over the past few years, Josh Allen's steadily grown over the last 2 years. So I think he'll make another, and especially as you add another receiver, I think he's gonna take it to the next level.
well, and they finally have kind of that number one guy. Like they had John Brown last year; he's pretty good. Cole Beasley, but when you think of guys like that, John Brown's a number 2, Beasley's a 3, good slot receiver. Stephon Diggs, he can be a number 1 guy on that team. They lost Frank Gore.
Yeah.
But they have Devin Singletary.
And Frank Gore's kind of old
showed up.
too
Yeah.
now, so
Yeah.
he's getting up
So
there.
tight ends, middle of the pack, but their defense is what's going to carry them. It's just going to be a defensive grinding team.
And then as long as your offense can get some points, it's going to win you a game.
Josh has just got to become more consistent.
But with Diggs, he's got that main target, because he didn't really have a go-to before.
John Brown was his
now.
go-to, and I think he's better as a number 2 option.
Definitely. They're going to look pretty good. They'll be a 10 or 11 game. I think they'll win 10.
I think they're 10-6.
I didn't really look at their schedule a whole lot.
Just looking at it, I think they have a couple games that they're going to lose. They play at San Francisco. I think that's a loss. They'll split with the Patriots.
And I'd say other than the Patriots in the division,
I think
they're going to win every
other team in that division.
Counts for 8.
The only other
majority of your games
game that I could see them maybe losing, maybe the other 2 are at Arizona, but I think they're going to win that one.
I think they could take that.
And then at home versus Pittsburgh,
that's going to be tough.
Pittsburgh, and we'll get to them obviously, but they're just going to be really interesting. They're really interesting. But this Bills team with their defense, led by Tre'Davious White, big-time cornerback, and then Tremaine Edmonds.
They have a really good defensive backs. They have a solid line. They are something to be messed with.
They're going to be interesting. I think they'll win that division pretty handily too.
All right, so next we got the Miami Dolphins in that same division. They're 5-11 last season.
Yep.
Their predicted the over/under is 6. What do you
think? At it. I have them at 6-10. I'm a little bit higher on them than I think you are.
Yeah. You think?
Yeah.
I said over.
Really? You had them at 7-9?
I think they win 7.
Okay.
They added Tua. Obviously, he's not the starting quarterback.
Yeah.
But if something does happen, or if he gets corona, I think that some quarterbacks might get it, or some major players might get it, and then they had to sit out a few weeks, and that could change the whole season, really.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So they added Tua. They got the cornerback Byron Jones. They added some pretty good guys. They had a pretty good draft.
Yeah.
I think they can win. I think they'll win 7.
My only worry,
or even it could be 6 though. They could even out.
I'm a huge believer in your offensive line, especially with rookie quarterbacks. It's what's gonna kind of guide your team. They're ranked dead last by Pro Football Focus on their offensive line. That's gonna be their biggest issue. Though they made a lot of good additions. Their defense, while still kind of bottom of the pack, is improving.
Yeah.
Tua though, because him and Joe Burrow are obviously going to be kind of compared.
Back
while Joe does have AJ Green's getting older, has had injury issues, all of that.
Hasn't been himself.
Tua has Devontae Parker, who had a very good season last year.
Yep.
Also, Preston Williams, keep an eye out on him. Big wide receivers, got good hands. You know, they have a couple. Jordan Howard, they signed him, obviously. So, and they just made a lot of sound improvements.
That's why I think they go from 5 to at least 6 or 7.
I have them at 6 and 10.
I could see that.
I was going through it today, just kind of making last minute adjustments to the schedule. I think I knocked them off one more loss.
Okay.
The last game against Buffalo, or the first game against Buffalo. Yeah. And then I said they lose at Arizona. So I had them at 7 and 9. Yeah. And then I bumped them down to 6 and 10.
I think they'll be right in that sweet spot between those two, 6 or.
It's just it's going to be bumpy, especially Tua. You know, there's a little bit of a learning curve
for sure
there, but
especially not named the starter at the beginning. I think that kind of hurts his confidence a little bit, maybe. Slightly.
Thing with them, though, I think a lot of quarterbacks can do well being behind a guy like. Not that Fitzpatrick has been a huge player in his career or a top-tier quarterback. He's got somebody who's been around the league. Yeah. It's good to be behind him and why it'll be like a Daniel Jones situation, maybe without the fumble issues.
Yeah.
So
I think so.
I said though in my notes, this team just feels like another year out of being really good.
There's a ton of teams where I think they can be good, even like a Giants.
Yes.
I think here in like 2 or 3 years,
I think the Giants
really good. Especially Joe Judge coming in and stuff like that. I think they could be.
But, you know, they signed Van Noy, big signing. Shaq Lawson, good signing. Jordan Howard is a reliable running back.
That's what I say. Van Noy's a huge pickup defense.
Van Noy.
I think they picked up at least a few guys to where they could win a game or two more.
Oh, yeah. I think they'll go 6 and 10. 7 and 9 would not surprise me, but I'm just going to go with 6 and 10.
Fair enough. We're pretty much on the same page so far. So the next one is my favorite team, the New England Patriots. So last year they're 12-4, obviously made it to the playoffs. This year they are projected to win 10 games.
Oh.
Now you got Tom Brady gone, and you're left with Jared Stidham and Cam Newton that hasn't been really relevant for I don't even know how long. You got Brian Hoyer at quarterback as well.
Yeah.
Nothing. You got defensive standouts like Duron Harmon, Jamie Collins, Kyle Van Noy. They're all gone. You got Hightower and Chung, who aren't one to play this year. You got rumors that they might tank for Trevor Lawrence.
Yep.
No Marcus Cannon, no Gronk still. He's not coming back there, obviously. No O-line coach, no special teams coordinator. Like, they're looking real. I mean, they got a few guys, but man, this team is looking with like a lot of holes. So I think they had a really bad offseason.
Yeah.
Extremely bad.
Yeah. Cam Newton was a good sign.
They didn't have that great of a draft. They got like a D2 player for the safety.
Especially offensively. Never have good drafts, I feel like.
But with that being said,
what do you have?
The New England Patriots are going over 10 games. Guaranteed. Bill Belichick is going to get it done. You just believe in me. We got some weak teams in the conference. You got the Jets. You get split with the Bills. You got the Miami. You're winning those games. You sneak out a few games. If Cam Newton plays well, Jared Stidham, you know what? He didn't have some great throws early on, but maybe he gets lucky and pulls it out. Bill Belichick will make sure.
Oh, God.
And if not, like Bills,
it's an in-between year.
I think so too. I don't think they're going to be like
you
a
said
great
they're going to win over 10 games.
I don't think they're going to be
a great.
Hold on.
Great season.
Hold on. I don't think they're going to be a great playoff team. Like, look, Cameron, look at me. I don't think they're going to be a great playoff team. They're not going to go very deep. But 10 games, I think they'll be at 10 games or 11.
I can't do it with your team, man. I hate you guys.
It's Bill.
Just like
Bill Belichick is not going to. Come on. If you got Bill on your team, he's done it before.
I don't like betting against Bill Belichick. I will.
He turns nobody into heroes. Come on,
they're going to go 7-9. They'll go 7-9.
They're not going 500.
Losing record.
Not even going 500.
Yep.
All
right. I just want to see.
Okay, run through them.
First game against Miami at home.
Take that.
I said win.
1-0.
Second game at Seattle. That's
we
a
lose that. We
big
lose
fat
that.
L.
We lose that.
At home against the Raiders.
We win that.
Win. At Kansas City.
One of these good teams we're gonna take. I'll tell you that.
Y'all aren't being Kansas City.
I don't think so either.
My homeboy's
But
gonna.
I don't think so either. But maybe the Seahawks we pull out. Though.
Okay, this is one we'll disagree on. I already know. At home against Denver.
We take that.
I think
100%.
you guys lose that.
100%.
Denver's my surprise team this year.
100% take that.
They're my pop team.
Okay.
At
true.
home against San Francisco.
We win that. We win. I think we win that. That's the Seattle or that one we're gonna win.
I think you guys start out.
I think
2-4.
49ers are overhyped.
2-4.
Wait, that's 3-3 right there.
I think you guys. I think you guys lose to Denver.
Even if we lose all 3 games, I think we could pull out 1 win out of. So I think we're 4-2 right there.
I think you guys are 2-4. At Buffalo. Y'all winning that one?
We're gonna win. I'll say.
You
I'll
guys
say we
will beat
lose
them at
one now.
home.
I'll say we lose one now.
You guys will beat them at home. I'll say that.
I'll-
At New York Jets, you guys will
We'll
win
win that. That's 5-3.
At home against Baltimore.
We lose.
Now, I will say,
lose
you
that. I
guys
think
played
we
them
lose that.
well last
Yeah,
year.
we did.
You guys,
But it's a different team too. We lose
Yeah.
that one in my opinion.
even though you guys did lose, you guys still didn't play them bad.
It's
At
5-4.
Houston,
We win that one. We win that one. 6-4.
no, we're beating Houston.
6-4.
At home against Arizona, 7-4.
We went 7-4.
At the Chargers, I think you guys win that one
8-4.
too. 8-4.
7-5.
In your
7-5 even. Maybe 7-5 even. I'll take that. 7.
You guys are not beating at Houston.
All right. 8-4. Keep
You're
going.
not beating 49ers.
Keep going.
At the Rams, loss.
We could pull that out potentially.
You can pull it out, but I think it's a loss.
Okay, we'll say 8-5.
At Miami. I think that's where you guys lose to Miami. You guys always give
No,
it.
we take Miami this year. I think we're gonna reel it in a lot.
I think 2 will
9-5.
be in mid-season shape.
So that's
I think.
9-5.
At home against Buffalo, I think that's the one you
We
guys
take-
take against Buffalo, and at home against New York.
I think
You
we went
gave
10 or
yourself
11. That's
a
10 or
lot of-
11.
you guys
That's
said-
10 or 11
No.
for me, man.
The
We'll
audience
see.
will disagree with a lot of that.
And
You guys
maybe
are
I'm-
going 7-9.
Maybe I'm absolutely wrong. Put it in the comments. I'm probably an
7-9.
idiot. I'm probably a blind idiot. But
7-9.
I got faith, man. I got faith in
7-9.
Bill.
Nah. Yeah.
I think we at least win 8 or 9.
Cam
I think we're
Newton.
going at least even. That's my thing.
I will give the Patriots this. Coming into the season, they have the 7th offensive line ranked. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Especially
So
when you
Cam
got somebody
Newton,
like Cam
Cam
that can
Newton should
blitz
have
through.
some. Yes. And defensively, you guys have 4. What worries me is your guys' wide receivers and tight ends and running backs. You guys have James White as a good running back wide receiver.
Yeah.
Edelman led the league in drops last year. I know everybody loves him because he's a dog, but
Oh, I love Edelman.
he led the league in drops.
He plays hard. though.
N'Keal Harry is not proven yet. I think he's got potential, not
agree.
proven.
I
And then tight ends, don't get me started
We have
on your
nothing.
guys' tight ends.
Yeah. Ben
I
Watson.
don't think in the passing game you guys have enough.
I don't think so either. But
And
that's
I-
where Cam Newton can run.
and I
if
think
he can be
defensively,
decent.
We'll
If-
see what happens.
If Cam could show spurts, and he doesn't even have to be an MVP. If he can show spurts of what he's done before, I think they win
I think
10.
you guys can go 7-9. At the most, you guys are going 9-7. You guys are not winning double-digit games. I'm sorry. That era's over.
We'll see.
for now.
I think the first few weeks
Until
will-
next year,
I think
until
the
they
first
get
few
Trevor
weeks will
Lawrence.
be really telling. But I think there's a lot of teams that are just gonna overlook the Patriots this year a little bit, and I'm
Nobody
excited
will
to see it.
overlook the Patriots. You don't do that to a dynasty. It's like if you overlook the Spurs.
I don't
You
know,
don't want to
man.
overlook the Spurs.
I don't know.
Let's go on to this next team.
All right, New York Jets. They were 7-9 last year.
Same. Yeah.
You think they're gonna be the same?
No.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
saying I
Same.
think we'll have the same opinion.
Oh,
on
okay.
this.
So they are at 6.5 over under. They had Frank Gore.
Yeah. Their running backs are good.
They took a much needed offensive tackle in first
Yep.
round.
Added Josh Andrews and Pierre Desir.
But they're going under
Yes.
6.5 games.
Yes.
They'll win 5 or 6, I think. Maybe 5.
5 and 11.
5, yeah.
They lost Jamal Adams and
Yes.
CJ Mosley.
Yes.
And their defensive coordinator is really good. Greg Williams is a great defensive coordinator, but those
Yeah.
are 2 superstars you just lost.
And as of a few weeks ago, they didn't even have a wide receiver
Yeah.
on the roster.
yeah.
Like, as of a few weeks ago.
And I'm not so
We're about to
down on
play.
Sam Darnold where everybody else is. I
I'm
think
not either.
Sam Darnold's a mediocre quarterback, and he has the potential to be
I mean,
good.
but you got Plummer playing it.
Yeah,
Come
you don't
on,
have any
man.
wide receivers.
Come on.
And I just don't see it. You lost too much on that defensive side of the ball.
No way.
You do have, and nobody likes Adam Gase either on that
No.
team.
Yeah,
Everybody
that was
doesn't
dumb
like
to
him.
bring Adam Gase in.
Everybody doesn't like him. So
Yeah. That
5
just-
and
that
11.
makes the team. Yeah, they're going to win 4 or 5
they're
games.
primed to have.
5,
They
5,
also
5,
have one
5.
of the toughest schedules. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
they start out their first 3 games at Buffalo, at home against San Fran, and at Indianapolis. That isn't ideal.
No, not at all.
So first 3 games are going to be 0-3.
Luckily
They go
for
on
them, the
another streak.
division's not amazing this year.
What do I have them?
Like, it's probably one of the weakest the divisions looked. And
I think they lose both to New England. I think they split Miami, and they lose both to Buffalo.
Yes.
So 1-5.
Yeah.
That's just I don't see them beating Buffalo or the Patriots. Yeah. Bill Belichick always has his way against Sam Darnold.
Yeah, for sure.
He's seeing ghosts. He's seeing ghosts out there.
But Hightower and Van Noy are gone now.
Yeah.
Those linebackers and Jamie Collins too that he's afraid of.
They still have.
I don't think he even said that.
They still have McCourty twins and Gilmore.
I did. Yeah. I mean.
So.
Yeah.
They're still ranked number 4 on defense by Pro Football Focus.
I don't know if I agree with that.
I don't agree with it either.
I
think they're in the top 10, but hey, I'm Pro Football Focus. They're pretty good. So
all right, the West Division.
You're going to the AFC West?
Yep, out west.
All right.
So we got Denver Broncos first. 7-9.
This is my pop team a little bit. If
it's your pop team, a little pop. Do you think we're going to agree or disagree on this one? What do you think?
You've been surprising me today, so you may have them with more wins than what I have them as.
Okay.
What do you have them at?
Okay, so the over-under is 7.5.
They'll be over.
I'd say they're over.
Yeah.
I mean, they draft a pair of receiving prospects. They got Alabama's Jerry Jeudy.
Jerry Judy's good.
KJ Hamler and
Cortland Sutton. That's the other name besides Preston Smith to watch and Devontae Parker on the Dolphins. Cortland Sutton. He's going to be good.
And they got Melvin Gordon.
Yep.
At running back.
Yep.
They lost Chris Harris at cornerback, which really hurt them. But their defense, I think, could be better.
I think their defense will be better.
They were ranked 12th last year. I think they could be a little bit better.
Though, big thing, Von Miller could miss the season. Ankle injury. Just came out today.
I still think they win 8 or 9.
I have him at 9-7. I think Drew Lock is going to be a pop quarterback this year. I think he's actually not going to be bad. He has wide receivers around him. He has Melvin Gordon and Phillip Lindsay still there.
Yep.
He's got a couple good tight ends. What worries me is their 2 offensive tackles their starters are both hurt this year.
Yep.
So that's what worries me. Tackles are very important in the offensive line.
Yeah. But they did amazing in the draft.
I think
they did really good.
And their defense is going to be good.
And now they have a running back.
Yep. They have 2 of them. Phillip Lindsay's good too.
I mean, that takes pressure off your quarterback, obviously, when you have a least experienced quarterback. Dude, I think they could be tough.
9-7. I think they're the other good team in the AFC West. PFF has them ranked number 11 on defense.
Yeah.
So, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. I think, though, they're my top team. I
could see it.
I just found out about the Von Miller thing an hour or 2 ago, so I didn't have any time to adjust that. Maybe I give them a loss.
8 games. I think they win 8 games.
Maybe 8-8, but I have them at 9-7, and I'll stick with that.
Yeah, for sure.
Who's next?
Next, we got Kansas City. My homeboy.
My homeboy.
So
we're going for an MVP.
So they're 12-4 last year.
Yep.
They made the playoffs, obviously, won the championship.
Yep.
Over under 11.5.
They're over. What do you got them as?
I think they didn't have a good draft. I think that they did a really good job in the offseason by re-signing.
Yep, that was my key additions. Re-signed everybody.
Defensive line, Chris Jones. Tyrod Breland, and cornerback. They got Demarcus Robinson, Damian Williams. They re-signed all those guys. They're well over. I think they went 13.
Damian is gone, actually.
Is he
out
really?
For the season.
But
in their draft, while they didn't do great, they got Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He's a good running back out of the draft. I think he's going to be good. Here's the thing. I got him at 13-3. I don't see...
That's at 12 or 13.
Bearing an injury to Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. I agree. 13 is what I got.
And with those weapons, he's got Hartman, he's got Robinson. That's not even naming their 2 best offensive players.
Well, and the thing is, they're I think it was the barbershop. Pat Mahomes said he couldn't even read a defense until halfway through last year.
Yeah. No, and the dude, if you look at his stats,
too.
If you look at his stats, he has room to improve. That's the crazy thing. I think he ranked 11th in completion percentage this year. Mm-hmm. He still has some room to improve.
For sure.
He's already the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
Give or take Russell Wilson, I think he's the best. But
I think he's the best too.
13-3. That's what I got him as.
Yeah, I got the same.
Mark it down.
So, you got your new Las Vegas Raiders.
This was a tough team to read.
I agree, especially because the move.
Yeah.
Because you never know.
Yeah.
And it's a party city.
Yeah.
A lot of distractions. Maybe not this season.
Those distractions go down this year.
That's how I say. Maybe it doesn't hurt them this season because they can't go out a whole lot. But man, I don't know how that is going to fare.
I got him going 5-11.
Wow. Do you really?
Yeah. What do you got him as?
Well, they're 7-9 last year.
Yeah.
Their 7.5 is what their over under is. They got they're really good safety. They got Jason Witten.
They have Josh Jacobs.
Jeff Heath, a really good safety.
Yep.
Guard Eric Kush. They're not huge guys, but they're gonna have a really deep roster because of that. And then they also got linebacker Corey Littleton, which I don't know a whole lot about him, but a lot of people say he's gonna like instantly turn like the team's pass defense and run defense like to another level. So I'm going over. If they can win 7 without all these guys, I don't see why they can't win 8.
They were the toughest team for me because Derek Carr.
I want to die on this hill.
And again, I guess unlike everybody else, I look at quarterbacks a little too much, and probably not everything else. But Derek Carr, while I think he does have some talent, this is a make or break year for him. I don't think John Gruden trusts him as much.
No,
as what you probably should in your.
But I trust Gruden though.
I do trust Gruden.
I think he's a good coach.
Yeah, he
knows what he's talking about.
He's a reality star.
I mean,
he's good. He's a good coach.
I think especially with like quarterbacks, like I feel like he knows what he's looking for.
But he
doesn't have that star player.
I'm scrolling down this offensive line list. I'm not even seeing them in the top 25. So they're in the bottom half. Their defense.
But they added a new guard.
They did, but obviously, I don't know.
They might add them up a few rankings.
I'm trying to see here. They'll win their first game at Carolina. Then they have a very tough stretch. They play New Orleans, at New England, against Buffalo, and at Kansas City, and then against Tampa Bay, then against Cleveland. That is a tough stretch. I don't think they win any of those games.
That is a tough schedule.
Maybe the Cleveland one.
I still got them in 8 wins because they're gonna pull some. Like usually they don't. Just
I could see 6-10. I had them losing against the Chargers. That could change.
Yeah, that could change for sure.
I have them, but
I think they win.
Maybe
8.
6.
I think they win 8. I'm going out on a limb.
Fair enough.
We gotta make some bold predictions.
Yep, we gotta.
Make it a little spicy.
Mine are all in the NFC.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, next we got LA Chargers. Another new move.
This may create controversy, too.
They're 5-11. I don't think it will. They're 5-11 last season.
Okay.
They're over-under 7.5. So, they're predicted to go...
7.5?
Yeah. They added Justin Herbert. I think he's really good.
Yeah, no, I think that was an underrated pickup. I even said that during the draft. Everybody's focused on Burrow and Tua. But Tyrod Taylor will start, who is a good quarterback.
Yeah, I agree. He's overlooked a lot.
Yeah.
And in free agency, they got Trey Turner and Brian Bulaga at tackle. I've never heard of him.
Yeah.
But I know Turner. But that's gonna help their offensive line right away, and that's gonna help with quarterbacks that are unexperienced. And you lost Melvin Gordon, so obviously you can be a little bit worse. But I think they have their defense could be one of the best defenses.
Yeah, no, and that they were another. This whole division was tough outside of Kansas City to read. Yeah. Kansas City, we know they'll be good, but these 3 teams were tough to read. They made a lot of switches, a lot of changes.
Yeah.
I was trying to find who's going to be that second team. I think it'll be Denver.
Yeah,
I'm not going to argue anybody who says the Chargers. I have them going 6-10, 7-9.
Oh, okay. I
So
think they win 8 probably too.
8.
I think they get 8.
I'm looking at the schedule. I may have goofed up. I think I have them losing to the Jets. I don't know what I was thinking doing that. So I think 7-9.
I could see 7.
7-9.
I think 7-8. I think I'm going to go ahead and say 8.
I think there's going to be, with no OTAs, no training camp, nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's hard for a team like that who's kind of brand new to gel and get together. So I think it'll take.
But you know what? They're in a new city.
Yes.
New atmosphere.
They have a pretty easy schedule too. They start off the season at Cincinnati. I think that'll be a win. Yeah. They play Kansas City, lost. Against Carolina, I think that's a win. They have a tough 2-game stretch against Tampa and New Orleans. At both of them.
They split probably.
You think they'll beat one of Tampa or New Orleans?
I think they could beat Tampa. Lose because they're
I think they could. I don't think they will.
Probably 2 and 3.
find a way. But after that,
smooth sailing.
it actually gets a little easier. The Jets, Miami, Jacksonville, Raiders. You have a bye week.
Those could all be
and then
wins.
Denver.
Those are all wins, possibly.
I think they lose to Denver. Other than that, I think they pull off 4 straight.
Yeah.
Raiders maybe can beat them. I don't think Jacksonville will beat them.
I think they'll either beat. They have to beat one or two. I think they'll beat Broncos or Raiders, if not both.
I think they'll beat the Raiders. I think they play at Denver. I think Denver's a very tough place to play at because of the altitude and all of that.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think
Denver's one of those that has a huge advantage.
And by then it'll just depend on if Tyrod's starting or Herbert. Because if Herbert's starting, that'll be his first time ever playing there. Yeah. I think it's tough for quarterbacks to play there.
Yeah, for
sure. That team 7-9. I'll go 7-9. I had him at 6-10. I'm changing that. I don't know why I had him losing against the Jets.
Cool. I think they could win 8.
Yeah,
that's my prediction.
Who are we going to next?
We got the North Division.
Okay, so
Baltimore Ravens are the first one. They're 14-2 last season. Made the playoffs, obviously. Their over/under is 11.5.
They're over.
I say they're under.
Wow.
It's a bold prediction. I think Lamar is seeing Pat Mahomes get that big contract. He's seeing him win the championship. He's a little angry. He might get better. He might get worse. That's the thing. I don't know what he's going to do from that.
I think
they add a little bit of pass rush. They got a few other guys. But the thing is their division gets stronger.
Yes, their division, and that's what was tough. Their division is very strong.
I don't think Cleveland's going to roll over this year.
No, I think Cleveland will be better.
Bengals are going to be slightly better, but they're not great. And then obviously Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh's tough.
I think Cleveland's tough.
I think so too.
And we'll get to them.
I think both of them are tough.
And I have some strong opinions about Cleveland.
So I think they win. Tough. I think they win 10 to 11 games. I think they're slightly under.
I have them at 13 or 14, man. Lamar, and I compare him, and I know.
But I think he had the season of his life. Personally, I don't think he'll ever replicate that season again.
And I know one of the viewers who watches this will be upset when I say this.
Who? Vincent Patterson.
So I compare him a little bit to Giannis, though it's very early in Lamar's career, to where I think he has just a play style in the regular season that you can't. It's hard to stop.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to get used to everything. It's hard to stop, especially with an offensive line that's ranked number 5 and a defense that's ranked 2.
Yeah.
That's tough. What I'm looking for Lamar this year is what I look for Giannis this year. Playoff success. Yep. You're this dominant, polarizing figure in this league. I need you to show me. I think he goes 13-3, 14-2. He'll roll through the regular season, and now we'll see.
I think they get 11 wins. Just because their division got better.
Their division did get better, and
strictly because of that.
That's fair.
Because they'll split games with Cleveland and with Steelers, I think.
Who do I have that? I think I have them beating the Steelers.
They'll beat both Bengals, but
I think I have them losing to Cleveland once.
I can see the Steelers taking one, though.
We'll go to the Steelers, and I'll express my concerns about them.
You wanted to hop to the Steelers real quick?
We can do.
Go ahead. Let's
Steelers, I have them going 8-8, 9-7. That's where I have the Steelers at. Their defense is extremely good this year. Their defense is not what I'm worried about whatsoever.
Yeah.
I'm worried about Big Ben. I need to see Big Ben and the pieces around him. They still have James Conner, who last year struggled. They have Juju, who struggled last year. Mm-hmm. Granted, without Ben, but Ben's getting older. Yeah. Let's not act like Ben. And he came off a pretty serious injury. That's not a mess around injury type of thing.
They did get receivers in the draft, though.
They did. They got Ebron, who, while he drops a lot, he's still serviceable. He's better than what they had last year. And again, their defense is extremely good.
Yeah.
I mean, their defense, TJ Watt and Minkah Fitzpatrick lead that defense extremely good. My concern lies solely with Ben Roethlisberger and Juju.
So my thing is that the Steelers were 8-8 without Ben, and with Juju having an awful year. You add Ebron to that. You got Ben coming back. You got maybe Juju half of what he was. That's at least 9 wins for me. And their over/under is 9. I think they win 9. I think they win 9-10.
I have them at 8-8.
I have them over, but I think they win 9-10. They're even or over.
I have them at 8-8, but I could see 9.
Yeah.
again, concerns are solely with Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
And Juju.
Yeah. I mean, it just depends how they all come back, really.
8-8, 9-7. So we're about on the same page, but that's just my concern. I don't think they're the second best team in that division.
I don't either.
And we know who's
coming
about
up
to be
next.
second.
Cleveland Browns.
Yep.
6-10 last season.
Disappointing year. Disappointing.
I think they're about even. They're going to be even with Pittsburgh. Their over/under is 8.5. I think they're over because of their new coaching.
Yes.
They signed right tackle Jack Conklin.
Austin Hooper.
Got an Alabama tackle, Jarek Wills, 10th overall. I think their weak offensive line was their problem.
Yep.
They fixed it. They addressed it. They got Austin Hooper, a great tight end.
Great tight end. Top 5, maybe top 3.
I think he's number 2 or 3 probably tight ends.
You have Zach Ertz and George Kittle and Travis Kelce. And then those are the 4. Those are the 4.
And then you got a few defensive players as well.
Yeah.
So I think this team is over. I think they win 9-10 as well. I think both of those
I have
teams
them at 10 or 11.
I
Again, same thing with Pittsburgh. My concern is with the quarterback. Baker, it's time for you to step up.
You got the receivers.
I know you're probably not watching this, but if you do, contract year, let's step it up. I need to see where all that talk was.
And you know what? We've been talking. Baker Mayfield has Landry.
Yep. Odell.
And now Hooper. If you don't get it
Nick
done, Chubb. If you don't get it done, I don't know what you're doing.
I don't know what else we could. No,
There's
that's
no
what I'm
excuses
saying.
after this.
This is a make or break year for Baker because if you can't get it done with a squad like this, you're not gonna. Where are you gonna get it done?
And the thing is, he admitted that he came back lazy and overweight.
Yeah,
and I think he just got married before this, and he came back to this past season not in the right mindset and right physical place. But I think he'll turn around. He'll be better this time around. I think.
Yeah,
for sure.
No, I agree. 11-5. That's what I have him as. I think Baker will prove himself.
I think they're gonna get 9 or 10, but I mean,
their offense is.
They're over 8.5 games for me though.
Yeah.
So next in the division is the ugly sister here.
Yep.
Cincinnati Bengals 2-14.
Yeah.
The 5.5 is their over/under. I say they're under that. They added Joe Burrow. Obviously, he's gonna help out. They franchise tagged AJ Green. Really in the draft, they did well. Free agency, they didn't do bad. But this team freaking sucks.
And that division's tough.
This team is awful. God awful.
Yeah.
I don't and their over/under is 5.5. They're well under 5.5 for me.
I have them at 2-14.
They were 2-14 last year. I think they're 2-14 or 3-13.
Joe Burrow's gonna have. Let me look at this schedule
because their division's tough too.
Yeah, I think they lose almost every game. They start off the season at home against the Chargers. That could be a win. Then they have Cleveland, at Philly, home against the Jags.
I don't even care about their schedule. They suck.
At Baltimore and at Indy.
They're not winning 5. They're not winning 6 games. That's a fact.
Yeah,
they're not going to do that. And if they do, if you do, Joe Burrow is going to have the best rookie season of all time.
Now, Joe Burrow does have a few weapons.
I agree.
Joe Mixon's a good running back. You still have AJ Green and Tyler Boyd, who's there. So Joe has weapons. Their line though is ranked 31st. Their defense is bottom of the league.
And a Joe Burrow who hasn't proven himself at all. He's going to have to be a top 10 quarterback in the league if they want to win more than 4 or 5 games.
Yeah,
he's gonna have to be on fire the whole entire time.
This division's tough. 3 tough defenses.
Yeah, and you're gonna be playing them 3 other week. You play a team like that. A good
6 out of your 16 games, you either have to face the Ravens pass rush, the Steelers, or Myles Garrett. And Myles Garrett,
it's tough. They
may hit you with the helmet, but
there's no getting around it. It is gonna be tough.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough year for them. Not to say that they don't have some light at the end of the tunnel, but and Joe Burrow's great.
I mean,
we'll see how he goes. But let's go to the most interesting division, I think, in the AFC.
Which division is that?
AFC South.
AFC South. That's the one I have next.
Texans, Colts, Jaguars, and Titans.
Let's start with Texans here. Houston Texans. They were 10-6 last year. They were a playoff team. They were 7-5 this past year. Or not, what am I saying? They're 10-6 this last year. They made the playoffs. They're over under 7.5. I say they're over.
Yep.
J.J. Watt's back.
Yep.
You know, you lose Hopkins, obviously, awful. You don't have a first-round pick, but you sign Randall Cobb and trade for Brandon Cooks, so that makes up somewhat for dealing with Hopkins. Not obviously to the extent to where it should be, but not quite as much. But yeah, I say they're over.
Yeah, I have them at 9-7. Deshaun's that dude.
Yeah,
I'm a big Deshaun fan. Randall Cobb is good. They signed Eric Murray, so
they're gonna win at least 8. They got to go at least even.
I think they're 9-7. 9-7 sounds about right. They were 10-6 last year. I think they're 9-7 this year, and they don't win the division.
I totally agree.
This division's tough.
Yeah, and let's move to the Colts, our home
team
here. 7-9 last year.
Yeah,
they're projected at 9 wins. I say they're over.
Yep, 10-6.
Weak conference overall, or not super weak, but a mid, like I think Jacksonville's terrible.
I think
Titans,
they win both
you could
games.
win both games possibly.
I think they split the Titans.
I think so too, but you could win both games potentially. You know, Texans aren't perfect. They're not going to be what they were last year.
Yeah,
Indianapolis Colts. I say over. I
think
they win 9 or 10.
Their defense is tough. Their offensive line's ranked number 1. That's a tough offensive line.
Well, and Phillip Rivers is he's rumored to be playing really well.
Yep.
I've heard a lot of good stuff from him.
My only thing is maybe lack thereof wide receiver weapons. So they have T.Y. Hilton, but other than that, lack of wide receiver weapons.
Ebron sucks. But they re-signed a few guys.
But they have Jonathan Taylor. They drafted him. Marlon Mack's a good running back.
And they drafted USC's Michael Pittman.
Yes.
He's a wide receiver.
Yep.
That could help out.
They signed DeForest Buckner, who's going to elevate their
Jonathan
defense.
Taylor at running back from Wisconsin. I think they could be solid. I think they'll win 9 or 10.
They're 10-6.
Probably 10.
Maybe not the best playoff team, but 10-6. And
they might
have a good season.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe upset a team.
Maybe. You never know. I mean, Indiana teams have had they're scrappy, man. Teams that should not be as good as what they are, they're good.
It's just so sad because if they had Andrew Luck, if they had Andrew Luck, this team would be a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah, I agree.
Just like last year, they
added a few guys, especially too.
Yeah.
Next up, Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, we don't need to spend too much time on them.
6-10 last year.
I ain't doing that.
5 is their over/under. I say under. Lost Nick Foles. Lost Fournette at running back. Defense tackle Henderson they got, which helps them out on defense at the 9th overall pick. They got a few pass rushers too as well. Their defense is gonna look better, but offensively they're gonna suck. They're gonna suck.
When I was first looking at their schedule, I thought coming into this, I was like, man, am I going to make them go 0-16? No. I'm sitting here looking at their schedule. I'm like, I don't know if they're
a 2 or 3 win team.
Because I'm like, okay, Cincinnati, they're at Cincinnati, and Joe Burrow could beat them.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow could beat them. I have them at 2-14, 3-13.
That's exactly.
They're around there. But looking at it, they were the one team, even the Washington football team, what we have to call them now.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there thinking, I don't think they'll go 16 Jaguars. I'm like, man, they could, but their defense is good. So I'm sitting here. I'm games,
like,
you know what?
But they're going to be nitty gritty. They're not going to blow anybody out of the water.
Heck, no.
It's going to be like a Bills last season.
Yes,
but they have worse defense than Bills.
Yeah.
So
worse defense, worse offense.
It's going to be an ugly game. When they win it, they'll probably win 2 or 3. Last team of the FC, Tennessee Titans, 9-7 last year. Obviously, a playoff team.
Surprise team, man.
Yeah, for sure. And they're 8.5 is their over/under. I say they're over. I say they're over as well. Their 2 best moves of the season were locking down Ryan Tannehill, I think. They got him a 4-year deal, and then they franchise tagged Derrick Henry.
Yep.
Massive stuff right there.
And then they signed Clowney.
Yeah, for sure. I think they're pretty good.
Yeah.
I think I
have them going 10-6 with the Colts. I think the Colts win the tiebreaker.
Yeah,
but
they got a few little pieces that fill in some holes in the defense and offensive line.
We're talking with a friend yesterday. They have a number 1 wide receiver guy. AJ Brown's a good wide receiver.
Yeah,
I think he's a good wide receiver. They also have Adam Humphries, Corey Davis.
I think they win 9 again, maybe 10.
I have them at 9 or 10.
Yeah,
I think they get 10 though.
They could get 10.
Their defense is going to be good again. They got Malcolm Butler. They have Clowney.
I know what you mean. Yeah. I got you. It's hard to say.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, but I think they're over that.
Good defense.
So next we got the NFC. We'll start with the East Division. So we got the Dallas Cowboys, America's team. 8-8 last year. They're projected at 9.5.
They're right there. They're right there.
I think they should be over, but they
They
probably
should
won't.
be
But
too.
they probably
I mean, they're
won't.
right there. I think they're like, well, 9 or 10 games. Like, yeah, that sounds about right.
But they probably won't. 'Cause that's how it is.
I will say this. Dak Prescott, he's got a lot to prove this year.
And they franchise tagged him.
Got a lot
Locked
to
up
prove.
Amari
He's pissed
Cooper.
off. He even said he's mad. Yeah, Amari.
I mean,
but
they locked
their
him.
big pickup was CeeDee Lamb in the draft.
Yeah.
The fact they got him.
Yeah, but they lost Robert Quinn, the edge rusher, for him.
Yeah.
That hurts their defense a lot. But they added Dontari Poe. I never heard of him. Clinton Dix. He's a safety, apparently. They got him. And defensive tackle, Jared McCoy. So
Yeah.
I think they lost a huge piece. They gained a few
But they
smaller
gained a few.
pieces to like almost not even
Cover it
out,
up
but, like,
a little bit.
Yeah, like cover it up a little, make it not as bad.
They're just. I hate the Cowboys.
Me too.
They
I think
Their fans
they should
are
win
insufferable.
10 or 11. They should win 10 or 11, maybe 12. They're gonna win probably
I got
8 or
10
9.
and
They're probably gonna
6.
win 8 or 9 again.
I have 10 and 6. I don't trust in Dak.
I think too. I think so too. 10 and 6. But
Yeah.
they
Middle of the
but they
pack
probably won't be.
defense. Tough offensive line. Have one of the best running backs in the league. They really have a great team.
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb, it's it's gonna be great.
Plus, they have a terrible division too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, outside of the
speaking
Eagles.
of that, Giants are up next.
That's my team.
Go ahead. I'll let you take the lead on this. This is your team.
Here's the thing. Okay. Here's the thing. The Giants aren't going to be good this year. I joke on Twitter. I joke with everybody. It's going to be a Giants and Chiefs Super Bowl. That's my dream. That's not going to happen, obviously. There's going to be struggles. Daniel Jones, though, I think he takes a step up this year. I don't even think he was that bad last year. He has a fumbling issue, which I know that's a big issue, but it can be worked on. It can be fixed.
Yeah.
He's got attributes that I like. Tall, can see over the line, has a good arm. He can even run. We haven't had a running quarterback in 20
He
years.
can run. He's strong too. He's been working on his strength. This
Obviously, you have Saquon. We added some offensive linemen. We have James Bradbury. They're going to end it around the same, four wins, about maybe 5. But I think here in the future, watch out. I think they're a piece or two away from being really good. We finally got rid of the coach. Got Joe Judge. We'll see how he is, but
I'm a big believer in Judge.
5-11, 4-12. That's about where they'll be at. Big Giants fan. Love Saquon Barkley. Please stay. Please stay.
Yeah.
But
So Daniel Jones has gotten a lot stronger this offseason.
I think
him and Saquon could do like a double, like I don't even know what to say, like a duo of running
yeah,
because he can run and he's stronger now.
Daniel can run. He made a couple nice scrambles. Obviously, everybody knows about the Buccaneers one in his first game for the game-winning touchdown. That's the most hype moment. One of the most hype moments.
Improved offensive line.
It just
they got a lot in the draft.
I liked their draft.
They had a really good draft. They're 4-12 last year.
I think they're about the same.
Their 6 wins is what their over/under is. I think they're under. I think they get 4 or 5 wins.
Yep, I'm about the same. And
but here in 2 or 3 years, I think they could be an 8 to 10.
Yes.
In that range. If they keep some of their guys, they get another star or two. They could. I think.
They just have a tough schedule. I mean,
yeah, and they do.
They have to play the Eagles and Cowboys twice.
Yeah.
They start out with Pittsburgh, then at Chicago, then against San Fran, then at the Rams.
But you could take both those Redskins, so that's 2 wins already. Right there.
I would agree.
You might be able to pull off an Eagles win.
I have them
or
pulling
a Cowboys
off a Cowboys win. I don't have them pulling. I'm a little high on the
So that's
Eagles.
3 or 4 wins right there. And then you play outside your division, I think they could get 5.
I think they're about 4 or 5.
I think so too. I agree.
We're improving.
Steady improvement.
That Giants and Chiefs Super Bowl will come.
Maybe 20 years from now. But
No,
it'll come.
It will come 4 years from now.
Okay.
We'll get a Mahomes and Daniel Jones Super Bowl.
Clip it.
And I won't know I'll cheer for the Giants reluctantly because I like Pat.
Clip that.
Yep.
Make
Clip
sure.
it. 4 or 5 years, Giants, Chiefs.
So next we got the Eagles in the same division.
Yep.
9-7 last year, made the playoffs.
Yep.
9.5s their over under.
Decimated with injuries last year.
9.5s their over under. What
I
do you
think they're over.
I said they're under.
You have them under?
I have them under.
Here's where we probably differ on. Carson Wentz when healthy, I think he's out to prove people wrong this year.
Not a big Carson Wentz.
You're not? I'm a Carson Wentz.
He's good, but
I think Carson's good. When he was fully healthy, MVP caliber year. He was probably going to be the MVP that year until he got hurt.
Yeah.
The big issue with the Eagles is staying healthy. But they have a good backup. They got Jalen Hurts in
But why get that?
I don't
know.
Because of Carson Wentz's injury issues.
Sure, I guess, but man.
My thing is their wide receivers were horrible last year, decimated with injuries. Everything was
losing
decimated
Malcolm
with
Jenkins
injuries.
at safety.
Yes.
That's a huge loss.
That was.
I say they're under. I think they win 8 or 9.
I think they're winning 10.
Wow.
I think Carson Wentz will be out to prove people. You have Alshon and Deshaun Jackson. They have Miles Sanders, a running back, who I think could have a very good year. You obviously still have Zach Ertz. You have a good offensive line around you.
They re-signed a few guys, too.
I have him at 10. 10 or 11.
I got him probably at 9.
But I like Carson Wentz a lot. I think just stay healthy, man. Stay healthy.
That's a big
I know.
riff on that one, buddy.
I know. But if they stay healthy, they can win a lot. Albeit, if he gets injured, they'll win around the same. They'll be 8-8, 9-7.
Yeah. Well, up next is the biggest disappointment. The no longer Washington Redskins. The Washington football team here. They went 3-13 last year. Let's not even spend much time on them.
They got Chase Young. It's a great pickup. He'll be a superstar.
It is, but jeez.
That's about it.
5 is their over-under. I think they're under.
Dwayne Haskins is... Yeah.
They lost Vernon Davis as well.
They just... I'm not going to lie. I didn't spend too much time on the football team.
Yeah.
I didn't spend too much time looking at the Redskins.
You got Chase Young. I mean, they got
Chase Young's good.
They got a few guys. Enough to where maybe you win 3 or 4 games. 5 at the most. But, jeez, this team's bad. Another bad team.
I didn't even look too hard at this
Not
team.
an awful offseason, not an awful draft, but dang, this team sucks.
They had a good draft. Chase Young's going to be a superstar,
but you need more, man. Like, just out of that. On to the West Division.
Yeah. That's all we need to know.
Arizona Cardinals, they're 5-10-1 last year. 7.5 is your over-under. What do you think?
7.5, they're right there.
You think?
This is going to be the team.
Make a prediction here.
I'm at 8-8.
8-8? I say they're under, and I think they win 7.
7 and 9?
I said it's the closest one, I think. I don't know.
They're either going to be the team who really pops and they're going to surprise everybody, or they're going to be like the same old Arizona Cardinals over the last few years, post Kurt Warner, where they're going to be down in the dumps and 5 wins again. I have them right in the middle at 8-8. They obviously added D-Hop.
And they got Murray.
Kenyon Drake, who had a good...
Campbell at linebacker.
Yes. And
he might help a little bit on their 32 ranked defense.
Yes.
But jeez, man.
I'll say this.
You got to work on your defense. That's the problem.
I'll say this. Man, are they ranked number 32?
Yeah.
Pro Football
Focus. One of the places
Pro Football Focus ranks them at 27. So they're at the bottom.
They're at the bottom. Top 5 worst defenses.
I'll say this. They added a guy in the draft that I thought was really good. Outside of Chase Young and the quarterbacks, I thought he was the best player, Isaiah Simmons. Watch out for him. He's a good linebacker. He can play multiple positions.
Yeah.
I think the kid could be good. I think their offense will be good. Kyler with D-Hop, who's a true number 1 option. Fitzgerald Larry is great.
Yeah, he's not.
First ballot Hall of Famer. He's not that guy anymore.
Nope.
But
they are better than last
at the
year.
number 2.
They're better than last year, though.
Yeah. Kenyon Drake, you finally got rid of David Johnson.
I think they went 7 or 8.
Finally got rid of David.
Yeah.
But you got Kenyon. They're better.
They're better.
Yeah, they're better.
I think it's going to take a few guys on defense, and then they could be a 9 to 10 win team.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. And Kyler
and Murray's got
Kyler had a good rookie year. For a rookie year, that was a good rookie year.
Yeah.
Now it's time to make the second step. Don't be Baker Mayfield. Don't regress in your second year because
especially when you get a guy like
D-Hop. He's a top 3 receiver in the league.
Yeah, like when you get a guy like that, take advantage of it. Like don't.
And you got Fitzgerald still.
Yeah, and
Christian Kirk is a good wide receiver as well.
Yeah.
And Kenyon Drake's a good running back. He isn't David Johnson. David Johnson got lazy.
Yeah.
Don't be Baker.
Don't be Baker.
Don't do it.
That's any quarterback.
Yes.
Out there for you.
Don't do it.
The Rams, 9-7.
This was another tough team to gauge because they lost a lot, but man, they have Sean McVay, who's a great coach.
Yeah.
They still have some wide receiver weapons who are very good. Their defense is obviously still going to be stout. You have Aaron Donald. I mean,
They're 9-7 last year.
Yeah.
Their over-under is 8.5.
They're about that.
I say they're under because they're going to at least lose one more game because you don't have Todd Gurley now. You don't have Brandon Cooks. That alone is enough to be a 7 or 8 win team compared to a 9 for me. You didn't really do well in the draft. You didn't do well in trades, obviously.
No.
They didn't have a first round pick because they got Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, which is a
good trade.
With defensively, they have 2 superstars in Jalen Ramsey and obviously Aaron Donald, who everybody thinks is better than Patrick Mahomes.
But the thing is, man, they don't.
They're ranked defensively. They're ranked number 10 by Pro Football Focus. Offensive line, middle of the pack.
I don't know. This team's
they were a tough team. I thought they were the toughest one to gauge in the NFC, and they were last year too. I thought they were a tough team to gauge.
I think they won 8.
That's where I have them at 8-8.
So they're under. It's an under. San Francisco 49ers. They were 13-3 last year. Obviously went to the Super Bowl. Made the playoffs. 10.5 games.
Over.
Is their over under. Now I'm going with a big hit on this.
You going under?
I think they win 10.
Okay. Okay.
You lost Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah.
They trade away DeForest Buckner.
Yeah.
We got a defensive tackle in the draft. They lost a left tackle to retirement. Traded for Trent Williams. Pretty good. They re-signed a few guys, but man, I think
their running game's still going to be phenomenal.
I think so too. But
still got Deebo Samuel, George Kittle.
I think they got hot last year. And I don't think they're that same hot team anymore. Let me look at their schedule.
I think defensively, they're going to be good. They have Arizona first game at the Jets.
And you got Seattle on your...
At the Jets, at the Giants, at home versus Philly, at home versus Miami, at home versus the Rams.
They have a pretty easy schedule, man.
So those first slate of games at New England, that's pretty easy. Here's their tough stretch. At Seattle. At home against Green Bay. At New Orleans.
They'll win one of these.
I think they beat Green Bay.
They'll win one
at
of those,
home.
probably.
They have a bye. Then at the Rams. At home against Buffalo. There's your tough kind of stretch.
Yeah.
And even I wouldn't even include the Rams in that.
I say they win 10 still.
You have the Redskins, and then you have at Dallas, at Arizona, and then at home against Seattle.
I think they win 10. But they could win 11.
I'm at 12.
They could win 11.
I'm a believer in their defense, but they won't do as well in the playoffs.
Too,
I'm at 12.
They got the best player on defense.
Yes.
In the league right now. So.
Yes.
No, they're tough.
Well, second. Aaron Donald's still number 1 for me. Nick Bosa, though, I think Bosa's the beast. The beast.
Yeah.
Who's next?
You got Seattle Seahawks, 11-5 last year. Their over-under is actually lower than I thought it'd be. 9.5. I'd say over, well over.
Our issue with the Seahawks is the same issue every single year. Their offensive line is booty again. They're ranked in the bottom third of the league in their offensive line. Give Russell Wilson some protection, man. Yeah. This is the one guy who competes with Pat Mahomes as the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
This is the one guy.
And they have one of the worst defensive line as well.
Yeah. They had one of their secondary is extremely good. They added Jamal Adams, obviously. Yeah. That's the big one. They still have that very good linebacker. Why can't I think of his name? But he's on it. Yeah. I'll look it up here in a second. But they
got Philip Dorsett on offense. That's a receiver. That's tough.
And DK Metcalf is a very good receiver, and Tyler Lockett is good, and Chris Carson's a good running back. Greg Olson's a good tight end. They have Bobby Wagner. That's what I was thinking of. I don't know how.
This team's an 11-win team.
I have them at 11-5 right there.
Yep.
11-5.
They're an 11-win team for sure.
My issue, and it'll stem into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Is they rely too much on Russell Wilson. They're like, okay, make something happen. Yeah. Why don't you get him a couple offensive linemen who can block, give him a little bit of time, and let's see what he does.
Defensive linemen, they could
get one of the two. I think with that secondary, you can rely on that secondary to not have as great of a defensive line. But man, in this league, your quarterback is the most important thing, and when you have a top 2 quarterback in the league, you got to protect the guy.
Yeah. I agree.
You can't leave him out there to just run around and make something happen. You can't rely on that every time. That's why the Chiefs, they're that good, because they have a well enough offensive line to protect Mahomes.
Yeah.
And they only need to pull Mahomes save us.
Right.
That's the difference. Seahawks 11-5 though. Russell Wilson's too damn good.
I agree.
Too damn good.
NFC North Division, Chicago Bears, 8-8 last year. They're predicted at 8. I say they're over.
You do?
I do. If they got 8 wins last year, they're predicted for 8 this year. They added Nick Foles. You got Robert Quinn at Pat Rusher. You got Chuck Pagano, who I think is a good coach. I say they're over. I think they win 9.
I'm at 8.
8 or 9. 8 or 9.
They win the same.
I mean, same.
Again, same issue as what we've always had. Are we going to trust Mitch?
I mean, Vikings got worse. Packers.
Vikings
think
are
they got
still going to
worse
be good
too.
though. Packers.
People think they got worse as well. Detroit Lions are not that good. They're
Yeah,
a little bit better, but they're not that good.
Lions aren't good. But their skill positions just with Mitch, Allen Robinson's their only real good guy. Jimmy Graham's just past his prime.
Yeah, for sure. Next is the Detroit Lions. They went 3-12-1 last year. They're predicted at 7. Was their over and under?
Under.
I'm going with a wild card here. I think they're over. You got Stafford back. You're getting a better defense because you're getting Jamie Collins, one of the best linebackers in the league. Defensive tackle, Danny Shelton's really good. You got Deron Harmon as well from Patriots. They signed Reggie Ragland. They drafted a pass rusher in Julian Okara. They got a former Ohio State cornerback, Jeff Okudah, in the draft. They lost Darius Slay, which is a good cornerback, but man, they got so many people, man. Especially, I think according to wherever I got this from, Detroit had the 31st ranked defense. I think they got a lot better. I think they're in the middle of the pack now.
Okay.
And I think that's good enough to win at least 7 or 8 games.
I have them at 5. Their division's tough. I think they're the worst team in that division.
Yeah,
I think
true. They do have a really tough division. They do have a tough division.
5-11. Matt Stafford.
I still think they win 7.
I feel bad for Matt Stafford. I think he's a really good quarterback. That Lions organization is just all over the place all the time. It's just like every other Detroit team. The Pistons are always all over the place since the 80s and I guess early 2000s. Yeah. But it's just normal Detroit franchise, just all over the place. No real direction. But 5-11.
But they did so well in the draft.
Matt Stafford will pull a couple.
They got a few guys on the trade.
Yeah. Jamie Collins was a great pickup. This division is like the AFC South. It's the most interesting division in the NFC. Maybe besides the Seahawks.
Now you got the Packers. We were told to go easy on them. They went 13-3 last season.
I went easy.
13-3 last season.
Well, you got them as.
They have 9 is what their over-under is.
Over.
I think they're over. And I think Aaron's going to come back with a vengeance.
I do too.
He sees all these young guys, Deshaun Watson, Pat Mahomes, Lamar, everybody getting all this attention. I think he's going to say, hey, listen, I'm still here.
Drafted Jordan Love. That's a huge slap in the face. Who, by the way, they have ranked as their 3rd-string quarterback. I don't know why you wouldn't draft a receiver for Aaron Rodgers so you can take off some of the pressure of Devontae Adams, who's a top 5 receiver in this league.
Yeah.
Take off some of the pressure of him and give him some more weapons, man. Yeah. It's just like the Seahawks. You have generational guys. I don't care how old Aaron Rodgers is. I think he's 36. He's still got 2-3 years left. He's 36 or 38. Either way, he's got 2 or 3 years left.
Yeah.
You got to take advantage of this.
I agree.
It's win now mode.
They lost Jimmy Graham though, which is a major loss. But they went over 9. Like they win.
I have them at 12.
That's it. They win at least 11 or 12. I think they win 11 or 12.
But again, it's just. Why are you waiting around for Jordan Love? That's who you're gonna risk it all for. I hope you see some that I don't.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree, man.
Yeah.
You got the Vikings up next. They're 10-6.
This is always a tough franchise to read.
Playoff team. They're predicted at 8-5. I say under. They win 8.
I'm at 9. I think
they lost Diggs.
I know, but they still have Thielen. They still have good tight ends. You know,
they did a decent in the draft actually.
Their defense is still going to be good. Their line is going to be good. They're just a good organization. The
are.
Vikings are a good organization. They're not like some dynasty like the Patriots, but they're not some crap team like what the Redskins and Lions are, where like, we know they're probably going to be bad.
Yeah, I think they win 8, so a little bit under.
I think they're 9. I
could see 9 though.
Dalvin Cook is a beast of a running back.
They got Justin Jefferson. Cornerbacks though.
I know, but their defense is still going to be.
I don't know.
I mean,
they're
I don't know what Pro Football Focus has them ranked as 16, so right in the middle, literally.
Yeah, I think they got worse on defense though now.
Yeah, and they did, but
I think they did for sure.
I think
they're in the 20s now.
Vikings always
early
pull
20s.
it out. Pro Football has them at 16, so just depends on the website, I guess. They're in the middle of the pack.
Yeah,
they always do something though.
I agree.
Adam Thielen's good. Kirk is a good regular season.
Though.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
It is a tough division.
You got a bunch of teams that can make some noise.
Yeah.
On to the South, NFC South.
Did we go through the Falcons?
Yeah. No, they're in the South, right?
No. Yep. I'm done.
Yes.
Sorry.
That's actually the team out of this year.
Yeah. All right.
NFC South.
Just reading your mind.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
You got the Atlanta Falcons. They were 7-9 last year. They're predicted at 7.5. I say under at 7 again.
At 6.
6 or 7.
That's what I have them. 6 or 7. This division's tough. Yeah. Those two top teams. Yeah. The Saints and the Bucks, man. The Panthers and Falcons I feel bad for because they're the 4 guaranteed losses, I think.
Plus you lose your tight end Hooper, obviously one of the best in the league. You lost a major cornerback. You added Todd Gurley, which is going to make you a little better. I think they're right at 6 or 7 wins again.
So now you just got to rely on Julio the whole year, who Matt Ryan doesn't like to target in the red zone.
But you know what? Maybe he does now.
Yeah, you better.
You
have Calvin Ridley, too,
who's a good wide receiver. Maybe you say, hey, we got to go to Julio, which might help you. They might be better because of that.
I don't know why you wouldn't just go to Julio every time. He's the best wide receiver in this league.
I agree. It's dumb to not, but they don't.
Besides maybe Michael Thomas.
That's why he never gets any touchdowns.
It's not Matt Ryan's fault.
Now you got the Carolina
Falcons make me mad. Sorry.
They got the Carolina Panthers. They were 5-11 last year. Predicted at 5.5.
That's about right.
I think they win 6.
You do?
Just because they're tough division.
You do?
They lost Cam Newton. They lost James Bradbury. They added Teddy Bridgewater, who was 5-0 the year before.
Teddy Bridgewater's a good quarterback.
Drafted a lot of defense. I think
they lost Luke Kuechly, though.
I think they got better, though.
You think?
Yeah, I think so. I think they got better. Because Cam Newton wasn't doing anything. Bradbury's a tough loss on defense. But you drafted a few defenders. You added Teddy Bridgewater, a proven guy who can win you some games. I think they win 6.
Just looking at the schedule, I mean,
they're not good.
I have them losing to Detroit and the Raiders, and those could be 2 toss-up games. I gave them to those 2 teams. So they could, I think, max 5 at the least 3. So they're going to be in that 3 to 5 range.
And they got Christian McCaffrey.
I know, but running backs are.
Come on.
No.
Come on.
No.
Give it to them.
Sorry.
6 wins.
Playing a tough.
You don't think they get 6?
Nope.
I think they could at least get 5 again. They got 5 and they got better.
Okay.
Ignore
my X's. I want you to see. Tell me the 6 teams they're beating out of that.
Okay.
Ignore the X's. So it's just on your.
They could go 2-2 here, possibly, at the first 4 games.
Yep.
Atlanta, probably not. Chicago, 3-3.
You think they're beating Chicago?
4-3. Yeah.
Hold up. You think they're beating at New Orleans?
Oh, I thought.
That's New Orleans.
Never mind.
I
thought it was the New York Giants.
You have them. So you have them beating Chicago.
So they're 3-3. I think they're 3-3 up, or
3-4
up there. Yeah. They lose that game probably too. At Atlanta.
I haven't winning
actually,
that.
Actually, they might. Yeah, they win that. I give them that.
So that's 4.
4. They're losing. They're losing. Could win.
Could win. So there's your 5.
5.
You think they're winning any of those last?
And then out of these, dude, they could win Washington.
Okay, so.
And they might pull out like a Minnesota or something like that as well.
I have them at 3 to 5 wins.
Or Denver. They could pull out of Denver. Minnesota or Denver, I think they win one of those. I think they get 6.
I'm going with 3 to 5.
I think they get 6, but 5 is pretty.
I think 5's probably the max and 3's the least.
I think they can get 6.
They're just.
I'm staying tough, man.
All right. No, fair enough. I'm sure a lot of people will agree with that too. 3 to 5 though. That's where I'm at.
So we got Saints next. 13-3 last year.
This team's
playoff team. They're predicted at 10.5. I say they're over.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Had a great free agency. Had a decent, pretty good draft. They re-signed Drew Brees, Taysom Hill, Pro Bowl guard Adrius Pete. They added Malcolm Jenkins at
Emmanuel Sanders, another good wide receiver. This team,
and they got James Winston too. Did you know that?
Who?
James Winston.
They signed him that's their backup.
Yeah.
I think that's perfect for Jameis.
They added Emmanuel Sanders. This team.
Jared Cook gets a tight end. This team
got better.
And my brother's a huge Saints fan, so the Saints are his team.
Hurts for you. Does it hurt you to say?
Yeah,
a little bit.
A little bit. But I actually like the Saints. This is the perfect football team. In my opinion, they are great on both sides of the ball.
They just don't do it in playoffs.
They always get missed.
Yeah, something always it turns out happening.
They always get messed with.
Yeah, I agree.
Penalties or something, or the Vikings. I don't know what it is about the Vikings with the Saints, but if they play the Vikings in the playoffs again, they'll lose.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So Saints, though, I got them at 13.
I got 12 or 13 as well.
Maybe 14 even. This team is just a perfect football team.
They had a really
barring
great,
any
they had
injuries.
a really great offseason. They were already won 13 before this offseason.
Their wide receivers were great, and they added Emmanuel. So there we go.
All right.
Now let's go to the
final team here. They went 7-9.
This is the final.
Yep. The Buccaneers went 7-9 last year.
Saving the best for last.
Now, what do you think that they have their over under is? Like, what do you think they're projected? 8. At 8? They're predicted at 9.5.
9.5. Okay.
I think they're over. I think they get 10 or 11.
I got them at 11 or 12. That offense.
Maybe 12. It depends if they can click early. That's for me.
Yeah, I would agree. The early part of the season, let's see who they play. They're at New Orleans. I think they lose that game right off the bat.
Yeah.
They're at home against Carolina. I think they win that. They're at Denver. I think that's another game they could lose off the bat because Denver is a very hard team to play. I'm saying that's a game they could lose.
Is it at Denver?
Yes, at Denver.
But you got an experienced QB. There's a lot of
that
experience on this field.
That is true. Just a tough. I don't know. I think that's a game they could lose. But then they have the Chargers and at Chicago, which are both games I think they can get. Yeah. Then they'll beat or lose to Green Bay. Maybe that's a toss-up. But then they have the Raiders, the Giants. Skip over the Saints. I think they win that one though. That's at home. At Carolina, Rams. I think they beat Kansas City.
They win 11 or 12 for me.
That was one of the few teams I had Kansas City losing to.
Yeah.
They'll be in about mid-season form for the Buccaneers. Their offense. You have 2 arguable top 5 receivers in the league on your team, along with Rob Gronkowski, and not even just counting Gronk, because I know everybody thinks he's going to be. You also have O.J. Howard. He's a great tight end.
Yeah.
Their line is good.
Yeah.
And you're getting obviously you got Tom.
You're getting Leonard Fournette as well.
That they are in the same boat to a lesser degree as the Browns and Steelers.
Yeah.
Tom didn't. I know you disagree with me on this. I'm just saying with my own eyes, Tom did not look great last year, due maybe to lack of weapons.
But I think he had lack of weapons.
Lack of weapons could be, but he didn't look as good.
He didn't want to be in the system again. You know what I mean?
Maybe not.
That says a lot about that.
But you know what?
It does a lot for a player.
But you know what? Excuses aside, I just didn't think he looked that good. I
didn't think he looked great either.
I need to see it. But their defense is also, you know, they're stout.
They retained a few great defenders. They snagged an offensive tackle, a safety, running back.
Who's that really?
They had a really bad pass
rusher
defense last year.
Shaquille Barrett. That's that guy.
That's the guy. Yeah. That's
Dominic Sue, Jason Pierre-Paul.
Yep. I mean, they got a few additions that could help out their 30th ranked pass defense last year.
Yes.
Which their defense is what's going to be up for question.
But their defense was good. I just think you had a guy who threw 30 interceptions and they were in bad
positioning.
I
agree.
Time.
I totally agree. And plus, it's like, well, they're about to score again. Like we stopped the last 5 times. Like they're about to score.
And guess what? Their third running back is Leonard Fournette.
Yeah,
that's in their depth chart. That's their 3rd string running back.
Yeah, dude.
Behind LaShawn and Ronald Jones. Ronald Jones, watch for him to be the breakout running back of the year.
Especially when Tom's not going to be the same thrower he was.
No,
they're going to go to smashes. Man, they wouldn't have picked up the running backs if they didn't think they needed them.
Mike Evans and Chris Godwin.
Yeah, and with Gronk
and OJ and Cameron Brate's your 3rd tight end. Man, Tom always does good with good tight ends.
Yes,
that's Tom's thing. He can have whatever receivers around him, but if he's got good tight ends,
decent offensive line,
now he's got great receivers.
Yeah,
this is his best receiving core. So, wow, that's the last.
I say that wraps up. Before we leave here, what do you think your Super Bowl predictions are. That's what I was going to ask. For me, I got the Chiefs coming out of the AFC.
Again?
I got 3 teams I'm looking at for this year.
NFC's tough.
No, really 2 teams, I think. NFC is very tough. I was going to say Saints, Seahawks, Packers. But I'm going to say Saints and Seahawks. It's going to be a duel to the end. They're going to fight really hard. I don't know who's going to win. I think maybe the Saints pull it out, but maybe they choke again.
I always want to pick the Saints. Last year I picked them to make it to the Super Bowl because they just have such a perfect football team, man.
They do. And they add every year they freaking get better.
AFC wise, I want to pick against the Chiefs because I know history tells us going to back-to-back Super Bowls doesn't usually work that way.
Yeah, it's hard to go back to back.
Pulling out the church references, I like that.
Back to back.
Ravens are their only comp, though. So I got to see how Lamar does. But if they get
I think Mahomes is worse than last season. I think they're not even a threat as much.
Mahomes is
not
just
near where they're
so. Oh, I think they're going to be just as good, if not better.
Mahomes wins an MVP again. I think Mahomes gets another championship.
Man,
he gets another
I
championship.
hope he does.
I think they blow out in the Super Bowl. I think they win by a large margin.
I'm going to pick the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl.
I think they win by a large margin too.
And I'm going to pick
over Seattle. I'm going Seattle.
You going with Seattle?
I'm going. It
I'll
could
go
be
against
Saints.
you. I'll go with the Saints.
It could be Saints.
Damn it.
But man, the Seahawks.
I told myself coming into this,
It'd be a quarterback battle.
I told myself going into this, I'm not going to pick the Saints again, and here I am picking the Saints.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think they'll definitely be in the conversation at the end of the season.
Tampa could be.
Tampa's
sleep on
Tampa's
San
a
Fran.
wild card.
Don't sleep on San Fran, and don't sleep on Green Bay.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of really good teams in NFC. NFC's stacked.
I just think Drew is going to be out. I think this is going to be one of his last years. He's going to want to go out with a bang. Don't let the refs handle your playoff fate. Stop. Just blow these teams like the Vikings out. I get if you're in a close battle with the 49ers
and who'd they get?
With the Seahawks.
Yeah.
But they lost to the Vikings. Stop. Win. Please.
Yeah. Win the game.
Saints and Chiefs. That's who I'll go with.
Okay.
Ravens are the second option for the Super Bowl.
I think it's going to be hard NFC, though.
And then
Packers, 49ers, Seattle, and Saints are all going to be battling.
Then I have the Packers as the second team.
Wow.
I'm going with my guy Dylan. Shout out to him.
Shout out to you, son. I think they're going to be up there in the conversation.
I think Aaron Rodgers is coming back with a vengeance.
I think
just talent-wise, quarterback-wise, besides Mahomes and Russ,
yeah.
Aaron is number 3, man. That guy, his arm talent is...
I think so, too. Even at old age, too.
But I'll go Chiefs and Saints.
But he's got to get it done.
Yeah, he does. I'd agree.
So it's nice sitting down and breaking it all down.
Love talking football.
Telling you our predictions. Later in the week, here in the next week or two, we might actually do a fantasy football draft and kind of broadcast that and see who we all pick.
Hopefully and the next couple of days. NBA stuff coming up.
Yeah, for sure. So just let us know what you might want to see in the future. We're going to keep going with the NBA playoffs. Those episodes will probably be shorter.
Yeah,
right now
this was
a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
And we might throw in some just some random playoff stuff that NFL stuff that happens in the next few weeks. And, because obviously there's probably going to be some crazy thing.
Well, and the season starts this week.
Right, yeah.
Thursday.
So we'll have a lot to talk about. The rollover is kind of nice because there's not a gap anymore between the NBA
and we got college sports, hopefully. Fingers crossed they start up, so maybe a story or two there.
Yeah. We're not huge on college football.
I mean,
I heard a lot of teams are going to get pushed back to the spring, too.
Yeah. College basketball, though.
I'd say basketball would definitely be covering a lot of, or at least a decent amount of, the big main teams.
But leave down in the comments if you disagree or agree with anything.
For sure.
Love to hear opinions.
Yeah, we'd love to prove you wrong.
I love the feedback. love the feedback. I'm sure I'll be getting calls after this.
Probably.
So
I imagine we're gonna get called out pretty bad, but you know what? That's okay.
I love it.
Well, wait till the end of the year. We're right. We really split a lot.
I think we agreed on most.
We agreed a lot, but the splits were so close.
It'd be 1 or 2 wins.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's where I think a lot of our splits are at. Which
a
lot of those teams are give and take. Though.
Yeah,
you could have a team just like where you should win it and then they don't, or a team where it's like 50-50, just throw the ball out and see who ends up winning. But
next
few weeks should be very interesting though for our podcast.
Oh yeah,
we got a lot of interesting stuff coming out. So
hopefully some people that will bring on more opinions.
Yes.
So
let us know if you want to be in the podcast for sure. We got like probably 4 or 5 people who said they wanted to be in.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting. It'll be fun. This is fun.
Yeah, maybe some interviews from like potentially if we could get a pro or professional of any sport. To be honest, like just to sit down and talk to them.
college guys,
college kids, just to hear about their experiences.
Yeah.
And hear about how it is to play at the next level and.
So
a lot of interesting stuff.
That should be it.
Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you.
We'll see you later on this week, hopefully, with another episode.
Yes, thank you.